China is making cars out of noodles. Was? Das ist doch gelogen. Bruder, das ist doch gelogen. China macht doch keine Nudelautos, oder? What? Jetzt bin ich aber hooked. Ruhe, Chat. Ich will wissen, wie man das macht.
China making cars out of noodles.
See, I got my assholes here.
What? Hä? Was ist das? Warum ist da eine Wurst drinne?
Holy cow. Did that guy really just get ripped off and find out the BMW he bought secondhand was cheaply fixed with noodles? I mean, we've already seen the guy who found out the hood of his car was repaired with cardboard. So, is China repairing cars with noodles and sausages now?
Das ist doch nicht echt, oder was?
Seriously, I don't think he got ripped off. I truly think he posted that video for clicks because instant noodle repair is part of a fascinating trend in China where people use noodles and, quite frankly, amazing skills to fix just about anything.
Hä? Da war doch gerade noch ein Loch mit einer Nudel drin.
And, quite frankly, amazing skills to fix just about anything, from cars to kitchen sinks. Today I thought we could take a proper look at China's, quite frankly, impressive instant noodle repair industry.
Das wusstest du nicht? Woher soll ich denn wissen, dass in China alles mit Nudeln repariert wird? Woher soll ich das wissen?
It's pretty amazing to think that somebody...
Nee. Nicht das Scheißhaus, Bro. Das ist nicht dein...
take a broken porcelain toilet like this and fix it with noodles. But let's see. He's spraying a mystery substance, which I'll tell you about in a second, using a paint scraper to make it all nice and even.
Wie geht's der Stirn? 90 Staiy bei uns.
All right. Starting to come together. It's looking fairly convincing. Is that pepper? I have no idea. You know, that is actually very convincing. And I'd say he's done a very good job. I probably wouldn't know that it was damaged. Whether the instant noodle mix is going to hold up or not, that's another story. I'm pretty sure it won't. And, of course, he used the wrong toilet seat. But it's quite impressive. And it shows you just how easily things can be repaired with just...
Hä?
about anything. Because what he's using here, and I'll spoil it for you now, is he's using what's called Wuling R jiaoshui, as we call it in the West, super glue. And, you know, glues in China, it's a little different. Like, you have different names for batteries and glue and stuff like that. So instead of calling something epoxy, they call it AB jiaoshui because it's AB glue, because, of course, you've got your two different parts of the epoxy. They call AA batteries.
Das ist doch nicht echt. Die wollen mich doch verarschen. Was macht er mit dem Nudelstuhl?
They call them Wuhao Dianshi or number 5 batteries, even though it still says AA on the batteries you buy there. And AAA batteries is Qihao Dianshi. So yeah, you just got to get used to these different things. So I was always confused when I'd go to a bike repair shop or something and they would be using this glue and it just said 502 on it. And I kept asking them, what is this? I thought it was something magical, special glue, but it's actually just super glue. So that's the tool they use the most. I mean, what on earth is this guy doing? Putting sausages? I mean, because, and there goes the super glue, of course, to make it all set. Use the paint scraper, scrape it down, buff it over. Yeah, I mean, it's... That looks ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But what isn't ridiculous is just how incredibly well this guy manages to finish the surface here. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I personally cannot tell the difference between the original texture of this chair.
Mit dem Vermieter einfach Nudeln und alles Kleber. GG.
Bruder, imagine, Ja, Sie sind übrigens dazu verpflichtet, drin zu renovieren. Hab ich doch. Warum liegen überall Nudeln auf dem Boden? Ich habe vergessen zu kehren. Oder was?
And the finished instant noodle texture repair that he does. It's incredible. So now I've explained the tools that he uses.
Das ist doch nicht echt. Das ist doch das ist doch ein Schnitt oder so. Die stellen da irgendwie eine zweite Schublade dahin oder was?
He uses this 502 or Wuling R Jiaoshui and instant noodles. That seems to be the main tools that are used to do this kind of work. Of course, we're going to find out there's more things involved, but before we do, here's a tool you can use to keep safe on the internet. Safety in numbers. The comfort of hiding in the herd. This is what you might think when you go on the internet. I mean, everybody goes on the internet. But the thing is,
Stay, wach auf!
cybercriminals can home in on you specifically.
Oh Gott, was muss ich? NordVPN? Was will ich runterladen jetzt? Surfshark, okay, wir wissen Bescheid, ne? Ihr könnt jetzt alles Surfshark runterladen, ne? Chat. Gut, alles klar.
And now, back to the show. Welcome back. Let's get back into this, because it's fascinating. I mean, I really find this stuff fascinating, because personally, I've done a lot of work on cars.
Ist das ein Auto? Ja.
And when it comes to painting and finishing, it is such a difficult thing to do. You know, anyone who's tried to paint anything will attest to this. You think you're just going to paint it, it's going to look okay, but no. To match the colors, to get the texture right, to make sure there are no drips or little pinholes or anything, it's really, really difficult. So that makes me even more impressed when I see people fixing things with instant noodles and getting such a good result. I mean, let's see if this guy can fix these tiles, because, you know, a tile is not the same as a porcelain toilet or a wooden table. You know, I love the fact that he's putting the spices for the noodles in there as well. It's not just the noodles themselves. It's really, really cool. You know, this is the part that's impressive, because I don't know about you guys, I would never, ever in my entire life be able to achieve this level of artistry. This is some serious stuff. I mean, just look at that, how he's blended it in. I can't tell the difference, and it's getting better by the minute. All right, let's see where this goes. He's painting the grout in. Taking off his tape. I mean, you wouldn't know.
Stay, ich habe gerade geschaut, O2 will 29,99 für eine eSIM von mir. Für eine zusätzliche eSIM. Oder was?
Oh, there's a cracked tile there. How about this bathroom sink over here? Put a
Digga, die wollen mich doch verarschen oder was? Das können die doch nicht ernst meinen.
backing of cardboard, crush a bunch of instant noodles. There
Nee,
go the spices again. Gotta throw them in.
nee, auf keinen Fall.
Plenty of super glue. Again, super glue seems to be the binding agent of all of this. So I'm guessing with a pack of instant noodles and super glue, you can actually fix just about anything. I'm actually going to call in the opinion of an expert judge in the background here.
Das ist einfach Matsch oder nicht, wenn da einfach Wasser drauf kommt?
Hey, Seamilk,
Yo,
can you tell that this sink over here has been repaired?
absolutely not.
I mean, it looks correct. What if I told you that was half instant noodle?
I'd have to have a bite and try it.
Okay. I think you get poisoned because it's mostly super glue and paint. But okay. Excellent. All right, let's see what's next. So now moving on to car repair, as we saw in the beginning. This is a very popular thing. It's like I said, it's a trend. People are just doing this to show
Wie alt ist dieses Video? Das ist 2 Tage alt. Warum kennt ihr das alle? Ich bin voll der Boomer, Digga.
that you can fix anything with instant noodles. But I'll be completely honest with you. When it comes to a little fix like this on a car, obviously you want to use Bondo or, you know, a proper automotive product. But I personally, I wouldn't mind if a little fix on my bumper was made with instant noodles, because you wouldn't be able to tell. Unless, of course, it goes rotten or something and starts to crack and the paint shows, or which we don't know. I don't think there's been any long-term tests of instant noodle fixes yet. But let's move on to the kitchen counter here, a marble counter. You know, it's really terrible when you have a really nice piece of marble and you just somehow drop it, or you leaning some, like a big statue in your house.
Warum machen die da die Gewürze drauf?
You know, when you have those really awesome statues of yourself and it falls over and breaks on the marble table. Happens all the time, right? So what are you going to do? Well, call in the instant noodle repair guy and he'll come sort you out. I mean, see what he's doing here. A little bit of black paint. Yeah, here he comes. I mean, you actually have to be an artist to pull this off. Seriously. Again, very, very impressive what he's doing here. I mean, that's amazing, but don't lean on it and move your statue somewhere else. Now, most of these clips...
Ich kenne Rahmenrepair seit Jahren. Das heißt Rahmenrepair?
You're seeing are coming from one single Douyin creator, and what he does is, this is his specialty, is fixing things with instant noodles. But because he set the trend in China and went viral, you started to see all sorts of other people copying him to varying degrees of success. For instance, we've got a guy here who's going to repair his car bumper where he's got a massive hole in it, and he's basically explaining how, hey, he's got a little bit of time off. It's Chinese New Year. He wants to fix up his car, make it look nice. So he decided to use the instant noodle treatment. And what he's doing is, first of all, stuffing tissue paper in there as a backing. I mean, look, any proper auto body specialist would cringe. But hey, you know what? If it gets the job done, it gets the job done, right? You got your tissue paper in there. You throw in your instant noodle and your Bondo mix this time. So it's mixing Bondo with instant noodle, throwing in the hardener and making it look pretty good, sanding it down, painting it and drying it, and bam, it's done. I mean, quite honestly, would you know the difference? If you were buying a secondhand car in China and there was a hole in the bumper that was repaired with instant noodles, would you know? Probably not, unless...
Ich bin hier legit sprachlos, Digga. Ich weiß nicht, ob wir die Dummen sind, weil wir nicht mit fucking Kartoffeln unsere kaputten Geräte reparieren oder weil wir nicht mit Pommes irgendwas zustopfen, mit harten Pommes. Ich sitze hier legit und frage mich, ob ich hier der Idiot bin. Oder ob die einfach nur ein Level über... Die sind einfach ein Level über mir.
You had an accident. Like I said, it doesn't always work out. Like this guy who tried to repair a bed using instant noodles and tissue paper with super glue. I mean, nice effort, dude, but it didn't work. It broke immediately. And that's what you're going to expect if it's a structural thing. You know, one of the things that I observed early on in China, something that really impressed me in China, was the fact that so many people are capable of doing very complex tasks very...
Frag mich, was der Mann bei der Leasingrücknahme sagt. Naja, bei der Leasingrücknahme sagt der Mann nichts, weil der das nicht sieht. Aber irgendwann gibt es ein Schreiben. Sagen Sie mal, es hat geregnet. Und als wir... Ist das einfach alles...
Not a scam.
Very well. And this
Welcome
comes down
to Watch Mojo, and today we will look at the top 10 car brands that can be fixed with noodles. It will get spicy.
What we've seen in this video, but in other things too, when it comes to electronics. If you want to see somebody in the electronics market fix a phone or weld or solder or do something like that, incredibly skilled. You know, China really only lacks in innovation and, of course, safety standards and a plethora of other things. But when it comes to a skilled populace, a skilled workforce, you can understand why big companies like Apple still want to operate out of China. Because in general, the kind of people that end up on the production line have the skills and have the know-how and the education and the ability to do these complex tasks well.
Ich dachte, der Grund, warum die das in China machen, ist, weil die Personalkosten so gering sind, genauso wie in Mexiko.
Anyway, guys, I hope you learned something from this. I hope you found it entertaining. Can't wait to see you in the next video. And of course, don't forget to join me on Friday for the China show, where we talk about the news coming out of China, the explosive news, the good stuff, the bad stuff, everything in between. It's hilarious. I hope to see you there. And until next time, you know the drill, as always.
Einfach ein Nudeltreatment, Digga. Irgendwas ist kaputt gegangen, gib ihm Nudeltreatment.